Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's market debrief. First, we are looking at is the S&P 500 index. And last week, I've mentioned that S&P 500 index will tend to rest sideways for a while or have some minor pullback. Okay, because of this selling from its previous high. Okay, so for the past 1 week, it has been trading sideways, and it's inching on the upper limits. Okay, which shows that there is a higher chance that it might continue to move off or on the upper side. Okay, and I've also mentioned that you see this 50 days and the 200-day moving average, right, has been moving in a parallel fashion. Okay, so the upward trend bull rally is very strong and is following this momentum. Okay, so some of the question is, when will this bull run end? Okay, it's hard to say for sure. Okay, a lot of things can happen, but the most important thing is if there is a euphoric run, something like a rapid succession of upward movement and of big percentage move, very likely is close to the end. So at this moment, I would say it's most likely going to continue trending upwards for the US market. Okay, so if we look at the Federal Reserve balance sheet, okay, we can see that the the balance sheet on the Federal Reserve, right, they are still continuing buying more government bonds, so their balance sheets assets is continue to inch up. Okay, despite them, I think for over a month they have mentioned that they are going to unwind their so-called corporate debt, but overall their asset is still moving upwards. Okay, so yeah, they unwind their corporate debt, but they will be buying more corporate government bonds. Okay, also bearing in mind that the Joe Biden is preparing for a $2 trillion stimulus plan, so they will need all sorts of help, in printing that money. Okay, so this I would say most likely continue to go further higher, in time to come. Okay, the Hang Seng Index in our Asian market, it has been resting for a week, but it's now resting very quietly on the 20-day and the 50-day moving average. Okay, so I would say that acts as a support. Okay, so probably over the next few days we might start to see some move, especially if it comes from US. If US started to break new highs, most likely our Asian market, Hong Kong and China will start to move off together. Okay, so do watch out for that. And China market also has been resting sideways, for 2 weeks already. Okay, so I think any moment it might start to move off, whether this week or next week. Okay, so all all three markets, the US, Hong Kong, China, are all waiting for a catalyst to happen. As for our Singapore market, the STI have been mentioned that it will be trading on a sideways fashion. Okay, so it's been trading sideways for a week, and today it started to have a slight sell down. Okay, mainly because of the banks, uh, all trading lower today. So I would say there's a higher chance of it inching downwards. Okay, but will it be a sell down? It's hard to say. So because Singapore is a very small market, it depends on the US, Hong Kong, and China market. So if all of those three markets are running, most likely will pull Singapore up also. Now on the commodities front, I've mentioned about the gold market. I hope that it can go all the way to 1950 and test the previous high, but then it started to have a big sell down, and then started to do consolidation in the 19,000 area. Sorry, 1,900 area. Okay, so it doesn't bode well, because if you look in a much bigger picture, we have a high here, and then we have a low. We have a lower high, a lower low, okay, and a lower high here, and a lower low here. All right, so here similarly did a lower low and lower low, so we are still on a downtrend, lower low, and the most recent high here about 1920 is still a lower low. It has not break this trend. Okay, so that's why I say I wish to see it test this 1950 or 1960 area, but it did not. Okay, so hopefully over the next few weeks, if it did test, then it will be a very good sign or very confirmed sign that it's going to turn uptrend. All right, so at this moment it's still like a 60-40, you know, for it to continue its uptrend movement. Now, the main thing that I would like to show in the commodity space is the oil futures. Okay, so the crude oil futures has been itching up past 1-2 weeks. Okay, so I've mentioned like 2 weeks ago in my debrief video that the gold has is almost testing high, you know, and going to break new highs. Okay, so for the past 2 weeks, it's been inching upwards, making new highs. Okay, so you should start to see some movement in the oil market, you know, oil refining or in a downstream manner, you know, market oil marketing and all sorts. Okay, so do watch out for these oil related companies. Okay, first we will be looking at is the some of the stocks that I've mentioned the past week. Okay, this is Ascendus REIT. I've mentioned about this 2 weeks. No, it's been trading sideways in the 290, 292 area for the almost like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. Okay, so today finally had a move upwards 295. Okay, so most likely it might break the short-term downtrend, you know, and probably start to turn upwards. Okay, so ultimately it's still in a very big consolidation pattern. Okay, it might continue to consolidate further and maybe retest this area of about 310 312 area. Okay, Kaplan China similarly testing this 200-day moving average and has rebounded back up. Okay, so from here it might continue to trade sideways and then slowly inch back upwards to retest its high. Okay, so bearing in mind that most of its China properties, you know, other so-called business park, commercial areas has already come under their umbrella from Capital Land. So most probably the coming earnings, right, might show an increase in earnings. Okay, so earnings season is going to come probably next month. Okay, so this is probably in anticipation of that. Okay, CICT has been rallying for the past 1 week, you know, after testing low here of 196. Okay, 2 weeks ago, or sorry, 3 weeks or 1 month ago. Okay, and right now is back is high here at the 215. Okay, so similarly, earnings next week, you know, and with their expanded portfolio, so most likely their earnings is also going to be so-called reported higher. And on top of that, why all these REITs are starting to move up is because of news that like Singapore, there's only 4 new cases in Singapore. Okay, the lowest in nearly 4 months. So meaning to say, they're expecting, so-called, we have successfully like contained this Delta variant, you know, from India. Okay, so I mean we might be seeing a relaxation of rules or expectation that Singapore government will relax rules coming June 13. Okay, so which is next week. So probably is in anticipation of that, you know, that all these retail REITs, commercial REITs have started to move. Okay, so I'm just highlighting this. Okay, Fraser Centrepoint Trust has also rallied back up. You know, first I talked about this when it was about 233. So currently it's trading around 241. Mapletree Logistics is also been inching upwards. Okay, so I think it's an expectation. Okay, most likely this is going to turn around. Is forming a cup and a handle pattern here, forming a base. Okay, so breaking this the high here of 204 205 might start a new trend upwards. So today's news about the lowest COVID cases or low community transmission cases has pushed a lot of REITs upwards. You know, like this is Mapletree Commercial. Okay, today had a rally. Okay, trying to rally back up to retest its previous high here about 223. Okay, so currently it's trading about 213. Okay, so uh, these are mainly the stocks, and because of low community cases, and Hong Kong is also today I think they reported zero community cases, okay, and one imported cases. um, People are having high hopes, that the air travel bubble between Singapore and Hong Kong might proceed as planned. Okay, so SIA today had a rally upwards. Okay, we have our sets, okay, trying to rally, and then it closed back, pour down. Okay, so but I will say most likely it might pull back and consolidate sideways. Those are opportunity for you to enter. All right, if our COVID cases still continue to maintain low, which means to say this air travel bubble to Hong Kong might prove to be a success, okay, or reality happening. Okay, so the same, the three stocks, SIA Engineering, and SATS. Okay, so all have some movement today after the news reported of this low COVID cases in Singapore. Okay, so what other stocks that we can look at? We have our iFast. Okay, after resting for like slightly more than a week, okay, today had started to have some movement. Okay, I would say it's still a little bit too early. I hope that it can rest for a few more days before it continue its next run. Okay, so do watch out for this iFast. Okay, this has to do with oil, oil, doing oil refining and oil products. And today had a rally, okay, after the previous rally. I've talked about this stock last week, okay, 2nd of June. So it has rested for 4 days, and then today, exactly 1 week from exactly 1 week, we had a rally today. Okay, so most likely from here it might continue to inch upwards, or trade sideways. So there is still time to accumulate or consolidate, but once it breaks the high here of 425, which means it start to make new high like 43, this stock might go on for a next run. Okay, so this is probably a consolidation or accumulation zone for second chance if we miss this rally. So definitely we wouldn't catch this. So we are more of like buying this to trade for the next rally, or to hold on for the next rally to happen. Another oil related stock that I've mentioned for 2 weeks already, Sembcorp Marine. Okay, so it has been resting sideways very quietly above the 20 cent area. Okay, so if oil price continue to run, most likely this might follow through. Okay, so it might be this week or next week that this might have a move. Okay, so do watch out. And the Hong Kong market, some of the stocks that you can probably watch out for the turn. Okay, this is Geely Auto. Okay, so after this down move, it continue rally back up, retesting the high, and then it's consolidating sideways. Okay, you can see the moving average is trying to turn or cross upwards really. So if you continue to trade upwards, this might start to trend back up. Okay, so this is Geely Auto. And I have mentioned about Xiaomi before. Okay, so as Hong Kong rested last one week, Xiaomi also rested for a week. Okay, so this is a pullback, a rest. Okay, so this is probably opportunity to accumulate or buy. We just have to wait for a signal. Okay, something like here across a doji or a bull rally, for you to make an entry. Okay, so this is Xiaomi. That's all I have for today. We'll see you guys next week.